think so. Let's see.
Is it a reason my camera's doing this?
Here we
Is
go.
it a Nikon? It's a Nikon camera, isn't it? Is that what it
Good
is?
one. Yes. You're
We're
live, but I'm not
live.
there.
And welcome.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vahagraphy Talk number 23. 23 is a special number because we have Vanessa Joy, special guest, our guest of honor. How you doing, Vanessa?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us. We got Ryan Troy in the house for this
What's
episode.
going on? I'm just a little bit hurt by that comment that y'all didn't hear.
No, they were I was totally live. We were live when I said
Oh,
it.
wow.
And we
Did y'all hear my Nikon comment right off the bat? I'm pretty sure they did.
And we have the Chuckster, Chuck from AP Studios. What's happening? So, Vanessa, thank you for joining us. This is a great honor to have you. I've been watching your videos and following your wedding work because I'm a wedding photographer as well. So
Awesome.
this is a special treat for me. So,
Wedding photography gets a little underplayed on YouTube. I feel like everybody just wants to see hot girls being photographed and they don't want to see the wedding stuff so much.
yeah, no, I feel you, but it gets challenging, right? Wedding photography at times. How many years you been doing wedding photography?
21 or so.
Wow, you're
Yeah,
you're a veteran over here.
Full time?
Absolutely.
Were you full time for 20 or how did that
I've been
transition?
full time for, it's 2008. I started my business, so that's 14 years, and then I think it was 2 years after that I quit my job as a Spanish teacher.
Nice. As a Spanish teacher, I would have never known that.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm not Spanish
So-
at all.
So you've been shooting
languages.
weddings for 20 years?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
start
I
when you were
started-
5?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this, but Zoom has like a retouching feature that's live, so it does a great job right here.
Okay, let me get
Oh.
that.
That's cool.
No, I started at a high school. I started working for my high school photography teacher actually, right after I graduated, and I didn't think like photography could be a real job because my high school photography teacher was a wedding photographer, but he was a teacher, like he was a photography teacher. So I went to school and became a teacher because I thought I had to have a real job. It lasted a couple of years, and then every September I kind of do a happy dance. I don't have to go back to school.
So wait a minute. How did you get into photography? Like, who got you into photography?
Well, technically my mom was a photographer.
All right.
I was a little rebellious of a child though, so that meant I didn't
Aw.
particularly like it. Yeah. But I was homeschooled until 8th, 9th grade. And I was sitting in the guidance counselor's office, like picking my classes for going to school for the first time. He's like, "So what elective do you want to take?" And I'm like, a homeschool kid. I'm like, what's an elective? Like, what is that? So he's like, "Oh, like home ec or wood shop or photography, graphic design." And my mom was sitting next to me and I'm like, I guess I'll do photography. And it was black and white darkroom photography, and you could not drag me out of that darkroom. Like my teachers for the classes after my photography class would fight with my photography teacher because of how often I would skip their classes to stay in his.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
so your mom got you into photography. What was your first camera?
Technically. I wish I
Nikon.
had it, but I just
A
moved.
Nikon.
Yeah, it was Nikon. No, it was a Canon F1 and a Canon AE1 35 millimeter.
AE1.
So it was really
One.
love at first sight then. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not like ignorant. I've messed with Panasonic mirrorlesses. I had a Sony once, and it was a horrible experience. A lot of my shooters shoot Nikon, but yeah, I just Canon is home. It's
Right.
what I've always held.
Yeah, and Michael Aris. What's up, Michael? He says a Canon shooter in the Nikon channel, blasphemy. Just kidding. He says, "What's up, guys? Hey, I want to welcome everybody in the chat. They're streaming in right now. So yeah, I mean, everybody's story is so different. Coming into photography, everybody has their own little thing. So you were a wedding photographer right off the bat, or you just started shooting portraits, or your friends, or models, or whatnot?
I mean, the first time I got paid to shoot something, it was a headshot for a realtor. And after that, for the most part, pretty much weddings. I actually thought that was also the only way you could make money at photography. Yeah, you gotta realize, like, when I first started, like, the internet didn't exist. Like, the guy that I worked for, this is how old I am. The guy that I worked for, I had to fight with him to get a website. Like, it was a fight, and it lasted months about why he couldn't just use the yellow pages all the time anymore, and he had to get a website. It was definitely before all social media things.
So this is
Yeah.
20 years ago. You were doing realtor. The houses were probably what, 50 grand?
Probably.
Well, I'm in LA,
100
so
grand was, yeah.
yeah, here it's ridiculous right now. But that's cool, realty. Headshot for a
Yeah.
realtor. That's cool. And then, when did you realize that you really enjoy this? You know, when you really enjoy photography, and this is what you want to do.
Was probably after high school or during high school when I started applying to colleges, and I'm like, well, what do I like do? What major do I have? And I was actually accepted to the only high schooler accepted to a dental hygiene school by me. And I was going to be a dental hygienist because, again, in my head, I need a real job. I can't just be, like photography was for the weekends, like my high school photography teacher, or for a stay at home mom, like my mom really was. So, yeah, I went to orientation for that dental hygiene school, and I took one look at the book of all the body parts I had to learn, and I was like, oh, hell no. I went to my parents. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, I don't know. So I told them I wanted to go to school for photography, but at the same time, I still knew I had to have a real job. So I went for education and psychology originally, actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So
The bright heads.
Isn't psychology a prerequisite for wedding photography, though?
It should be. 'Cause,
Right?
Man, do you have to deal with some social situations and crazy people.
Big
Usually not
time.
the bride, for the record. Usually
I
mom.
got to keep popping out. But so I wanted to jump in right quick. So the Vanessa Joy story is very interesting to me because you came a long way. I've watched your growth from the beginning to where you are now. And then it's a lot of things that you already said that makes everything make sense to me. So you were a Spanish teacher. When it comes to your teaching with photography is top notch. And I think your photography teaching is really what like just skyrocketed, the brand, the Vanessa Joy brand. But you also started before the internet and with the yellow pages, and you wanted to go, away from that so early. And I see that you're one of the photographers that kills it when it comes to doing reels. So it's like your brain is always a step ahead of others. And it's like you nail it every single time. So I just wanted to let you know, like, it's motivating just watching that.
That's awesome. I appreciate you saying that because most of the time I just feel like, I don't know. I do some stupid stuff on Reels. It's a little
But it
embarrassing.
works.
It works.
It
Did you
works
guys
until
see
you make
my,
the wrong reel, and then the wrong people follow you, and then you have to, make them stop following you.
Which is what happened to me recently. Did you see the video
Right.
I posted?
Yeah, that's why I
about
brought it up.
someone took my reel and made an ad
Promoted
out of
it.
it, and I to
Yeah.
this day have no idea. No clue.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I saw the one with Anna.
Yeah.
The
Anna.
latest one with Anna.
Wait, what Anna?
Creating
Oh.
Anna or whatever that show
I
is.
love that show.
Oh, I didn't catch
that
that
was
one.
great.
I caught the show, but I didn't catch that reel.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I
was
just posted it today. I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And Mozman's in this room. Mozman, you texted me that clip of what's her name? That actress saying that. It's hilarious, man. When the first time I saw that clip, I remembered some of my clients. That's what I said.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can't really say that on Instagram though. Too many of my clients are there.
Right.
And I do actually like my clients, so there's
no,
that.
yeah. No.
How has that been? How has since your brand of everything that you become, you do speaking now and your channel, does your your client to your other side, does that change, or are you still shooting a lot of weddings?
No, I'm still shooting a lot of weddings, especially last year and this year. Like the COVID overflow
Right.
happened in the wedding industry. I mean, the people that inquire, like maybe they see a post where I'm speaking or doing something, but for the most part, I'm just another Joe Schmo wedding
Right,
photographer in the
right.
area.
Yeah, I understand.
Nice. Are you local market? Like your weddings are all over, right? Like,
No, my weddings are pretty much New York, New Jersey, and Austin now, and probably a little bit of Dallas and Houston because I hear it all mixes around here.
okay, but
Yeah,
you moved.
I moved. I
Yeah.
moved from New Jersey to Austin, Texas.
Now,
Oh
does that
wow.
affect your business?
Um, so here's what happened. I moved and I'm still taking weddings in Jersey myself, and then I have associate teams I send out. So my business actually improved because now I decided to do some associate teams. But also, if I'm going to fly back to Jersey, I have to raise my prices. So I did, and they keep booking me. So it's like bettered my business when I realized, oh, they will book me at that rate that I previously thought was absurd. Not absurd. Like, I do think I'm worth what I charge, but
Right.
I didn't think anyone else thought that. So now I'm like, oh crap, I should have raised my prices more. And it's made me look at, the jobs, because I had done a few jobs here. Well, one wedding so far here in Austin where it was just much less expensive. It was a lot less work too. Like, I didn't really give them as much hours or post things. But I realized I'm like, I'm not going to take a step backwards. If I can fly and flying's no big deal, then I'll just go do that. I want to shoot all the pretty weddings. Not that every wedding isn't pretty, but when they spend $100,000 in flowers, it tends to be a little bit prettier than DIY.
Mm. Yeah, definitely.
Now with you being in Austin now, did you have to start over basically? Like, in Jersey, you have your word of mouth clients and everything like that when my camera decides to stop cutting me off. So you had all of that. Now you're in Austin, you're in a new city, right? You're a wedding photographer. It's a lot of wedding photographers out here that's watching this stream that may want to know how those beginning stages are. Was it different for you?
It is exactly the same as the day I started my own business in Jersey. The only difference is, I would say, I had money to advertise right off the bat, but I honestly didn't see really anything from that. And then I I have Instagram now when I didn't have Instagram before. So what I've been doing is just trying to find all my friends here because it's one thing to want to network with people. Of course, you want to network with people, but ultimately, after doing this for 20 years, I'm spending my weekends, a lot of them away from home, and I just want to spend them with people I actually like. So my goal throughout this transition has just been to find some friends. And if I can find friends in the wedding industry that I like, and then I get to hang out with them on the weekend because they refer me, we refer each other, then that's goal accomplished for both work and personal life.
Nice. Do you shoot YouTube? Let's talk about YouTube for a second. Does YouTube help out with the wedding business at all?
No.
They don't care who you
Not at
are or
all.
what you do.
No, well, they don't look. So someone's going to find me. They find me because some hashtag wedding or because I have a photo of mine posted on a reception hall. They have no idea I do YouTube. I mean, maybe if they dug a little bit, but for the most part, they'll go to my Instagram, they'll go to my website. Some of them might click on a social, link. When I first started YouTube in 2019, I actually started putting some of like my wedding slideshows on there. You can see them still, and didn't take them down. And my wedding album slideshows. And my thought was, oh, maybe I'll get some wedding business from this stuff. And then Jared Polin actually yelled at me and told me it looks stupid, and so I stopped. And he was right because I didn't get anything from it at all. Yeah, nothing at all.
Wait a minute. Back up. Jared Polin did what now?
He yelled at me. He
For
yells at
what?
me all the time.
For posting
Yeah.
something?
He does yell
For
at you all the
posting
time.
YouTube videos that were like photo slideshows from weddings. And
Well, I have a
albums and
question
stuff.
about him. You did a spoof on him, and I
Yeah.
saw that
Yeah.
video with the afro and the green screen, but I don't know if that was a green screen, but whatever. But you
Yeah,
did
it
that.
was.
Did you tell him, or did you have connection with him before you
Of
did that, or did he
course.
find you
Oh
through
yeah,
that?
I would
Oh, okay.
never. I would never do that to somebody without their explicit permission. And I showed it to him before I posted it also. He laughed his ass off.
Yeah, but y'all been friends for a minute though. I seen you on
Yeah.
one of his photo. What were they called? Raw talks back in the like around the COVID time where stuff like this became normal. I saw you on one of those as well. So yeah, that's like I said, I've watched your growth the whole time.
Yeah, we had him on, and he's like, oh, I don't hang out, this and that. I'm just all business. That's cool. That's cool. But so you reached out to him, or he reached out to you?
When we first met,
Yeah.
I first met him on Creative Live probably like a decade ago.
Uh-huh.
Briefly, he didn't, like, we said maybe 6 sentences to each other. I didn't really even know who he was. And then it was probably in the summer of 2019 or the summer of 2018 that I actually met him in person again. And we were on a panel together for Adorama, a live one.
Oh, yeah.
And I was being my typical Jersey snarky self. And I told him he wasn't a real photographer. And he's liked me ever since.
Did he? Yeah. You should have wore a I shoot JPEG shirt.
Yeah, it would have been a lie, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. But just to piss him off. But
actually, it's not a lie. I do shoot JPEG every wedding. Actually, most of what you see on my Instagram is from a JPEG.
But raw and JPEG.
Yes, but
Okay.
I usually don't touch the raws at all. The only editing I do is I Wi-Fi from my beautiful Canon R5 or R3 to my phone, and I Wi-Fi the JPEG, edit on my Lightroom mobile, and airdrop it, and those tend to be like the favorites that are done, and that's what you see. So most of actually
you can't. No,
is JPEG on my Instagram.
You can't be a professional and do that.
You can if you know how to expose your photos.
Of course, I'm kidding. I'm all about shooting JPEGs. Okay.
Are you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do the same
you definitely
thing.
Can.
I shoot RAW and JPEG the same time. I almost never touch the RAW files. I don't even know why I do it anymore.
I do it because it can absolutely save your butt. Especially in weddings. Sometimes I shoot on all manual. I don't shoot on any program priority of anything kind. So like I can swoosh like this, and my fingers just don't move fast enough to get like opposite lighting or something, and it will save your butt. But I don't really touch on my editors do.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this the other day of how much do you actually need raw at a wedding? I can get away with just shooting JPEG all day, but I just shoot raw because I guess it's safer, like you said, just in case you need to bring up a shot that the flash missed or something like that. You can still bring it up, it's
right.
Or an overexposed file.
Or like you just have one of those dresses, like a wedding dress that's more of the shiny material, like a satin or even a chiffon sometimes, and it just blows out really easily. Then that helps kind of bring it back a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I'm going to get T-shirts made that say I shoot JPEG just to trigger photographers.
You would trigger a lot of them. Like, we can't stay silent about this kind of thing.
So when all of y'all, just a question for all three of y'all, because especially Vanessa and Vahagraphy, because I know y'all are wedding photographers. Do y'all go into it shooting automatic white balance, or do y'all set? I mean, just hearing the JPEG part, because you can't really change that once you shoot JPEG like you can RAW. So, are you setting your white balance on auto, or are you dialing it in?
What you do?
Well, 5500 is my middle ground. Okay. 5500 is usually daylight. 5000, 55. I can get away with shooting 5500 pretty much everywhere. Like if you think about it, outdoors, indoors with flash.
It's your midpoint, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, but if I want that cooler tones, I want 32, 35. And if the walls are brown, man, I hate that. But how about you, Vanessa?
So I used to dial in my Kelvin white balance to the T up until the R5. And the R5 got so good at auto, I stopped doing it.
We're going to talk about Canon before you leave. We're talking about Canon. I always do auto, just to let you know. But at the same time, I shoot RAW. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm
I
just
mean,
scared to do anything else. If I shot JPEG, I would be scared to like trust it, trust all. I don't know. It's just scary to me. So,
trust auto JPEG or auto white
well,
balance if you
trust,
shoot
yeah,
JPEG.
yeah, because if
Yeah.
they get it wrong once, I'm stuck with that.
Well,
And that's the
the
scary
bad thing
part.
about that is that if you get it wrong, your editor is gonna hate you because he's gonna have to adjust the
Right,
white balance, and then your white balance is gonna be off on every shot.
right,
If you're on
exactly.
auto, yeah, it's gonna
Yes.
be like different in every shot.
Oh, you're talking
If
on auto. Oh, but it's fine
if
because I
you're on
could
It can
correct
auto,
that.
be, yeah.
if you're on
Yeah.
auto, it can trigger something different on every shot,
Right,
so
right,
it's gonna
right,
be off.
right.
So,
But if I'm raw, I'm fine. If I'm JPEG, I'm effed.
hmm.
But back to Canon, Miss Vanessa. Now you have a special, what is it, an ambassador? Can you tell us how that relationship started? Because I'm pretty sure that was like the third
Oh,
best day of your
yeah.
life, depending on how many children you have and your wedding date.
I mean,
So
I don't even like them, so
yeah,
best day of
so
my life,
you know,
easy. I don't know if you've given birth, but I don't consider that the best day of anyone's life. That day sucks. Yeah, I'm an explorer of light, which is kind of above their ambassadorship. Like they have,
oh, you
ambassadorship with
fancy?
like Peter
Okay.
McKinnon. I am fancy. And I first heard about it like 22 years ago when I went to Photo Plus in New York. And I saw Dennis Reggie, and someone just like mentioned, "Oh, that's Dennis Reggie. He's a Canon Explorer of Light." And I had no idea what that meant. I'm like, "But oh, that sounds awesome. Like, I want to be that. I want to do that." So it started then. And then, I mean, like so many other things in life, you have to be good at what you do, of course, but you also have to be in like the bubble of whatever they need at that time, right? It's a moving target. They obviously have some great photographers that are explorers of light, but I think I hit the checkbox for like I can do mom marketing stuff for them. I can do wedding marketing stuff for them. Like there's a lot of different boxes I check there. Plus a woman in business. That's a box. And it's
Thank you
also
for your honesty.
relationships. Yeah, it's a box. I'm happy. I'm proud of my box. Oh God.
Oh
That-
wow, I just caught
You
that.
can't
so
auto
late.
white balance the red now.
Right.
Yeah. So wait a
But
minute.
yeah, I
There's
mean
I-
relationships. It took about like 5 to 7 years of relationship building to get there.
And that's
Which is
wonderful.
why it pisses me off when I get random DMs from people that I don't speak to anywhere. Like, hey, you want to mention me to Canon? I'm like, do you want to do the 5 to 7 years of work I did? Because then we can talk about it.
That's awesome. Must have been great. So there's two levels of ambassadorship. There's ambassadorship, and then there's that top tier that you're on.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know that it's top. It's just a different kind of relationship. I think the Explorer of Light is. I guess it would be more of a
Access.
dedication to the craft and more of an exclusive relationship
Now, do they give you
versus
cameras?
a sponsorship. Not all. They give me cameras when I have to do something with them, right? But a lot of times I have to send them back.
Oh, so you can't shoot your weddings with their R3 or their cameras?
No. So if it's a pre-production camera, whenever I get a pre-production camera, and like the R3, I did their official launch video for it. I had to send that one back, and anytime I shot with that camera when it was pre-production on a wedding, because I had to shoot real jobs on it, I couldn't give those clients those files. Like anything, it's such a headache, honestly, because if I want to shoot a real job with it, because otherwise, whoop-de-doo, I shot it in a controlled situation.
Right.
So when I have to shoot with the R3, for example, I brought that thing around for like 4 or 5 weddings, and every time I shot with that, I had to double shoot, whip out the R5, and then shoot with that. So I have to like double duty in addition to like taping it,
man.
pretending it doesn't exist, which is just the kind of stress you need on a wedding day.
So you're so did you buy your own? You have your own?
I bought my own R5.
Okay.
The R3 I have is still technically Canon's, and they haven't asked for it back. So shh.
They won't hear it here.
Yeah.
But you can shoot with it now, right? You can shoot with it.
I can shoot with it now.
Right.
I had to send the other one back, and then they sent me this one to do some more stuff, and they haven't asked for it back yet.
Right.
So, yay.
I know you had a question, Chuck. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, I just want to throw this out there. I'm going to, step in for the forums everywhere. How much do they pay you, Vanessa?
I can't remember if I am allowed to speak about that, to be honest.
Be safe.
But
Just-
because
that's just
there is
every-
a contract.
Right.
That's
There
just
is a
every
contract for
forum.
sure, and I do get paid. But it's not like a blanket, like, here's 50 grand, you're awesome, and, roll out of bed and sign an autograph, right? It's
You
like,
don't have to
I
say
will-
anything. That was
No, I
just
don't
the
mind talking
typical.
about
That's the
it.
typical response, or not response, but
I know.
it just drives me crazy when they ask that question.
You know what it is? It's not an unvalid question, right? Because you see so much stuff on YouTube, and, like, for example, Rotolight, they've got those 2 new lights coming out. They pay me to make a video that's coming out soon on my channel, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be honest about whether I like it or not. I mean, you look at I did a R3 R5 comparison video. I didn't choose the R3. I chose my older camera, the R5. So, like, I'm allowed to have an opinion.
I have
I'm
a
not-
question.
You know what I mean? And what they pay me, it's a trade. I have to provide them X amount of images. I have to do PR for them. I have to do, and podcasts that they come up with. Like, it's not just like a blanket back up
Of
the
course.
money truck.
It's a
you know?
lot of
Just a
work.
gig.
It's a lot of work.
Or, like, even with the R5, I do the official video, and I have to have a budget. Do you know what a pain in the ass producing something like that? I hate producing that stuff. I like it because it's cool, but if I have to track down one more model, and, like, I will, like, lose my mind. It's so irritating.
All right, wait a minute.
Did you get your husband into doing video, or was like that something he did at the
No,
beginning?
that's how we met.
Really?
He was doing video, and he was working weddings.
Okay.
And I was working a wedding. We're both working for other companies. And then, I walked into the bride's bedroom with, obviously, my, like, slow motion and my fan and my fog machine, and caught his attention.
So y'all like low key a power couple, but y'all don't advertise it. You got to advertise that stuff. That's a box. We're all about boxes.
We chose not to, actually.
Oh,
So in New
okay.
Jersey, it's, and I don't want to insult anybody, but when you see, we do photo, video, DJ, florals, and hey, we'll even do your limo also. Like, it cheapens it, right? If you go into a designer shoe store and they're trying to sell you cookies, like, it's just not, like, it doesn't fit. So we wanted to keep that boutique style, keep it more high end. And also, it's a pretty penny to book both of us. So we didn't want people to think, oh, you have to book both of them. And then, like, the level is up here to possibly get us versus it realistically where it actually is.
Vic says you married the enemy, the videographer.
I did.
Hey, you see Ryan
We
Troy's
used to
shirt?
fight so much.
Huh?
Like,
You see-
so
you-
much.
Really? Yeah. You see Ryan Troy's shirt right there? Says, what does it say right there in his sleeve?
Oh, right here. Yeah. It's beautiful.
I want to know. I want to see the way Vanessa says that.
Oh, she's from America. Go ahead. Pronounce it.
Nikon.
There you
Rob,
go.
when we first started dating, Rob actually shot Nikon.
Oh, okay.
But you're friends with Daniel, and Daniel, he shoots Nikon as well. So
He does. Well, he shoots anything because the man is
I
so
think he's
talented. You could,
surrounded
like,
by a lot
throw
of
like a
Nikon
box camera at him and he'll be fine.
yeah.
Hey, by the way, you're not the first Canon photographer to be on my show.
Oh no.
I've had Yervant from
Oh,
Australia,
he's amazing.
master.
Yeah.
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 I've had Kevin Shahinian from Pacific Pictures. Your husband for sure will know him. He's an amazing videographer.
Yes.
Kevin Shahinian, Pacific Pictures.
Man,
And by
that's
the way,
beautiful.
he shoots with he doesn't even shoot mirrorless.
Mhm.
He shoots
Really?
with
Shoot mirrorless.
1DX 2 and 3 still. And
I
he's
love those cameras.
his videos are amazing. Like, the first time I saw his wedding videos, I thought he's shooting on red. They look like HBO Productions. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, I have heard. Yes. No.
Pacific Pictures.
Yes, I've definitely met him once at
Y-
least. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are friends on
Sick
Facebook.
work.
I checked it out.
That was from that time at WPBI like 12 years ago. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I have a question. When you shoot pro photo as far as lights are
Yeah.
concerned.
Yes.
You would never change that. Can I
Not
ever put one
necessarily.
of these in your hand? Right here.
You know, I like my stuff to not break.
Oh no way.
You know
I
what it
love
is?
Tell me.
Aside from being a wedding photographer and wanting things that are like portable, really easy, I also do headshots. And I've done headshots where I've done like 1,600 of them over the course of 2 days. And you know darn well that light color balance changes from as it's warming up, and it has magenta shift. And I'm not about to edit 1,600 headshots. I want it to be the same flipping color from the second I turn it on until the second I turn it off. And that is not going to offer that.
So
to me.
is that a JPEG issue?
No, it's a 1,600 headshots, and I get paid more money when I hit export and I'm done versus having to edit anything.
Gotcha.
Right.
Well, I mean, listen, if you can find a way to send me, a pro photo light, then hey, then I'll probably feel like you do, but I can't afford that.
Why? You know, everybody says this. I don't understand. It's like people forgot about the used market. And that's another thing when it comes to pro photo. I have never had to replace a single one of my pro photo lights, even when I have dropped them off a flipping cliff. Literally.
That's impressive.
Drop them off a cliff. I have never replaced a single bulb. I've never replaced a single unit. I've never had to have it repaired. Like, you can buy used pro photo equipment, like the B2s, for example, that are discontinued because they came out with the B10s. You can buy them cheap, and they're gonna like last you your entire career because they're that good
Well,
and they're that solid.
did you hear the rumor?
What one?
Pro Photo and Nikon.
Really? Wait, huh?
Yeah.
Is that a joke?
Yeah, no,
Nikon quit making speed lights.
getting together.
Oh, really?
Oh,
For
yeah.
is it going to be a speed light or just off camera
They're
flash?
getting together. They're gonna have babies.
That's interesting.
Well,
No, people don't. I know everyone thinks like we know all the secrets. Jared sometimes knows all the secrets, but I don't know all the secrets. I know like the day before it happens, unless I am making a promotional video for them specifically.
Oh, nice. I love
Otherwise,
your,
I just get a courtesy email the day before.
yeah. I want to talk to you about the budget photo shoot you have.
Yeah.
The budget camera photo shoot. Is that what I'm saying?
You know,
right?
so here's the thing. I wanted to call it Gear Wars, but somebody told me if I use the word war, like YouTube is going to downgrade it.
Yep.
So I was like, so let me think of like keywords, right? So I'm like, okay, everyone searches budget photography, and then everybody searches photography gear, and everyone searches photography shootout. So that's why I got the budget photography gear shootout.
Yeah, I
Working so
find
far.
I find those very entertaining. By the way,
They're
who was your
fun for me.
favorite? Yeah, and you're a straight shooter. You're not scared of saying things. So I'm gonna ask you, who was your favorite guest so far?
It was me, but go ahead. I'm gonna give you.
Who is my favorite guest so far?
Yeah, 15 of them, right? Yeah, 15 of these,
15 to 12.
something like that. Yeah.
And in the chat, if y'all watch them, y'all tell me who y'all think. Well, who is your favorite? I don't know who my favorite was, but go ahead. It's biased, so I'm gonna give you my favorite too.
It's hard. I
Think back to all of them because there are some
know
great
I'm going
people on there.
through. I love doing it with Irene Rudnick, just because I was really concerned to be super boring, to be honest, because we just shot like our own
Different places.
stuff and then I edited it. So that was just fun. I think Jared's I laughed the most, so that was fun. And Daniel
Really?
just blows me away every time I photograph with him or watch him work. I have Peter Hurley's I learned the most from. I have Alexis Quaresma coming out, and his he just put me to shame, honestly.
Wait a minute. No, just if you were to pick one though, to put on the pedestal so far, just one.
You know what? It's the one that I'm going to shoot next week, and I know it will be.
We can't tell you about it, okay? It's top secret.
Yeah, she's coming to Los Angeles, and it's gonna be with me.
I am
Los
coming to
Angeles.
Los Angeles
But
next week, actually.
Vanessa,
Are you kidding?
Vanessa, I
No,
shot
Sean's
I'm
already
coming
been on
to
the
Los
headshot
Angeles.
crew.
Oh, I
shot
love
her.
Chelsea.
Yeah, so
Chelsea
I
is
saw
so good.
that's the one you did with Peter.
Who's
Hurley.
that?
Chelsea. So I shot.
I have 2 more videos coming out with her.
Nice.
Actually.
She's a really great person
She's a
too.
gem.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
wait,
give
wait,
you
wait,
my
wait,
two
wait,
favorites.
Ryan, wait. Let's hold on.
Sorry.
You're coming to LA
Yes, I am.
for how long?
About 16 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, next time you come, let's do one. Let's do a budget
Yes.
shoot. I got the perfect camera, the Nikon D3X. I just picked it up, 15-year-old camera.
That's
Perfect.
Awesome.
So
Is that film?
nah, it's a digital camera, but from 2008.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's do
Now,
that.
my favorite one was the one you did with Ike, but that's my brother, so that's biased.
I love
but
Ike.
besides that, Jared Poland definitely was my favorite one. I like
Yeah.
that one.
Although Ike made me laugh a lot too, actually. But I've known Ike for like probably 13 years or so. A really long time. Like I held his baby when she was a baby.
Yeah.
His first baby.
I got Ike was funny when he was holding the reflector and he's like telling you like he's trying to throw you off your game. That was hilarious.
It definitely worked too.
I do think
if
you
you
had
make
an
me laugh,
advantage.
like forget it. I can't do anything.
I think you had an advantage on Jared Poland though.
I
Just
don't
saying.
know. Most people voted for his image, actually.
I see. How was the Northrops? Tell me about the Northrops because tell me about that.
Chelsea is a doll. She is as sweet as pie. Absolutely love her.
Where
Like, when
was
I text
Tony
her,
hiding
she
in the
usually
grass though?
He wasn't really a part of it. It was just me and
Okay.
Chelsea that were doing it. But he was there. You know, he
I
said hi and
missed
then
that.
kind of did his own thing.
What was that?
2 weeks ago or
Probably
something.
only like 4 weeks ago.
Oh, 4 weeks.
Wow.
The one before the last one I did.
I got to
think
check
the
that
last one
out because
was
I love
Peter's.
Chelsea. Chelsea's amazing. She's great.
Yeah, that one. I
She's
watched that one. But yeah, if you come to LA next time around, let's do one. Well, it's gonna be a rock and roll one, and
would love that.
we're gonna shoot a band. I'm gonna get one of my friends, a well-known musician, me, you, and the musician. I don't know. I'm thinking drummer, guitar, maybe lead singer. Nah, we'll see. Maybe the whole band. So
That would be fun.
Yeah,
I have
so-
rock and roll in my blood. That's like
I know you told me when I met you in
inherited.
WPPI 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Tell me your dad's a musician, a drummer, or something.
My dad was the lead singer of Ram Jam. You know,
Oh.
like whoa, Black Betty. Yeah.
Oh wow,
So that's him. And he currently plays with the Yardbirds.
that's rock and roll, man. Wow,
Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome.
that's cool. Wow, the yard.
Now, can we talk sponsorships? Can we talk career? Can we talk
Yeah.
Adorama?
Yeah, absolutely.
I shop a lot at Adorama or Amazon because Amazon's convenient.
It is.
How did that relationship start? Like was that before the Canon relationship? Was that your
Yes.
first big brand?
100%. I mean, trying to think. I feel like Pro Photo may have started
you have
before,
a-
and then yeah.
Is this bias that I'm hearing now? I
Maybe.
didn't know you had to deal with Pro Photo.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Well, no, not now.
Oh.
And I never really had. So they don't do, or at least not with me. Maybe they do with other people. They don't do like official sponsorships. They
Gotcha.
did name people, like they have their Legend to Light program, but it's an honor.
Gotcha.
And I do get information sometimes beforehand, and every once in a while, like they'll ask me to do a video. Like I did a video for that. Oh crap! Now I can't remember. I think I did for the B10s. I think it was the B10s that I did one of their official videos. But when the B1 came out, that's when my relationship started with them. And
That's
then I think I had some labs before then. Before Adorama, I was working with some labs that were more sponsors. And then the reason I started with Adorama, which was probably 5-6 years ago, started on their YouTube channel, was Mark Wallace recommended me. I think I filled checked the box of they needed more women on the channel.
I'm trying to think. So, who are the other women that they have? Because they got Daniel, Gavin Hoey, which is a legend. Gavin Hoey is a legend, guys. I love
Yes,
Gavin
he
Hoey.
is.
Yes.
He is
I think
awesome.
they have Seth, right?
They have Seth.
Not sure if they have Robert Hall, but it seems like it.
They had Robert Hall.
So they just had a lot of people at this point.
Yeah,
Are
they
they
have right
trying to
now.
change it
Right
up?
now, Lindsay Adler is on there. They don't have anybody doing wedding photography after I'm not doing any more for them. And they have Emily Teague, who's a portrait photographer that occasionally does stuff as far as women. But
Oh,
I
wait,
think
wait a
that's
minute.
it.
You're not with Autorama, huh? More.
No, after
Oh.
5 or so years, they cut my show.
They
Was it
pissed you
just a
off.
contract ending though? Was it something
It
like
was a
that?
contract ending, yeah,
Gotcha.
and they
Well,
chose
that's
not to
yeah.
renew it because they have budget cuts, and I don't know if you know this about Adorama. They don't have just Adorama. They have like a whole scuba and sports company. They have like other companies, and
Really?
the budget, the marketing budget is kind of all in one. So they needed to repurpose and send some of that money to the other brands that they're in charge of. They also are doing a lot with music and DJs and just music production in general, and they wanted to allocate money there. So they allocated my money there.
Now with Adorama, I'm assuming they would send you certain things to review. Did you ever
Mm-hmm.
get any of like the glow soft boxes? Because I know you really care about quality. Everybody that
Oh,
uses pro
I
photo
actually, my
do.
reflector is the glow reflector. I'm obsessed with their 5-in-1 reflector.
Okay.
You'd be hard pressed to find me using anything else except for that Lasterlight Tri Grip. If I'm by myself, then that
Right.
one's like a really easy one to use. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I know I've had the B&H version. I think theirs is Impact. I used one of
Yes,
theirs
yes.
for a while. I don't think I've ever had a glow softbox though. I've
Yeah.
tried their Flashpoint. I used my
Hey, Chuck,
Flashpoint in one of the Gear
Yes, sir.
Wars.
get in, and when you don't feel free, you're not cutting anyone off. Feel free to get in.
Jump
No,
in.
everybody, I'm kind of watching the chat over here. I'm going to
Okay.
jump in here in a minute and throw some questions at you guys that are popping up.
So, people that follow you, and you do have quite a following on YouTube, over 60K, and that's a big deal. That's pretty good. And
You
Thanks.
got
I
a blue
feel like
check too,
I'm
don't you?
losing. No,
But-
I have no blue checks.
Oh,
but that you're doing great. I don't think a lot of people knew you had a musical background. That's really cool that you come from a family of musicians and a well-known musician.
Yeah, I do.
So you never
And
wanted
I
to pick up an
actually-
instrument?
I can play. I can sing.
What do you play?
Piano.
You play and you could sing?
I can sing.
Okay, let's do
I
it.
try
Let's-
not
let-
to.
Let's hear it.
No.
Come on.
You'll hear it when I get like plastered at karaoke maybe once. That's about it.
All
after a
right.
couple drinks.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. So I want to talk to you about wedding photography. Has it changed over your 20 plus career? Better
Oh,
or
yeah.
worse?
Oof. Some things are better. Like, for example, when you were photographing people 20 years ago, there was no Instagram, there was no selfie. No one knew how they even liked to look in photographs. And now, like, for example, yesterday wasn't a wedding, but it still applies that age group. I was photographing a girl for some social media stuff that we were doing, and I don't even have to pose her. Like, she just moves. And that's kind of awesome that a lot of my clients, not all of them, but a lot of my clients are just much more comfortable in front of the camera, and they know that they can move versus like tilt, turn, smile. What's worse about it are client expectations have gone way up. And some of it is good, and I think advances photography in general, like doing same day edits or just a higher level of customer experience. I think those are all good. But then you get the people that are like, can you just retouch everything? Like, and I haven't had too much of this, but I know one day I'm just going to have somebody that's used to looking at herself face tuned and want that in her wedding stuff, you know?
Right.
And it's just not reality. And that scares me.
Did you get the can you make me look skinnier people?
Oh, I mean, that always, don't worry, I have my skinny lens on.
Right. That's a great response. I gotta use that.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is my skinny lens. Don't worry.
What are your average weddings? How many hours?
10. Usually 10. Although apparently here in Austin, around 8 is normal also.
Have you
I
shot a
would
mid?
like,
What was that?
I would just say I would like it to be less because those last 2 hours at the reception, like just,
Oh, you can just go home after the first dance.
I could, but they don't like that.
That's what I do.
Do
I
you?
mean,
But
now,
he has a
tried.
team.
huh?
I do too, but I
Okay.
tried implementing that. Like, oh yeah, your party photographers take over after such and such a time, and they're like, wait, what? You won't be there? Oh my god, no, I want you to be there. I'm like,
Just don't say anything. No, seriously, just don't say anything. You don't need to say it. It's like, what do you need Vanessa there for after you're gonna capture a bunch of dancing? Like, there's no point. There's no
Yep.
creativeness
no. So
involved.
what I do instead is do my same day edit on my phone in a back
Uh-huh.
room where I'm not listening to that band, and I can take my earplugs out and not get stepped on by Uncle Drunk Bob.
Uncle
That's what I
Bob.
do. Yeah. Well, and the other thing is too, I download all my second shooters stuff that night, like onto a NAR box. So if I leave, then I got to deal with them throwing it in my FTP, and it's just one more step I don't feel like dealing with.
You shoot all types of cultures, right? Like you shot them all.
Yeah.
Middle
I
Eastern.
have shot them all. I mean, I tend to get a typical wasp though. That tends to be what I attract, I guess. My favorite weddings though are like South Asian weddings, or Greek Orthodox. Just give me color any day. Like when I do Greek Orthodox churches, and it's like a rainbow inside. It's so pretty. And then South Asian weddings, just the outfit changes and the
Persian,
different
Armenian.
ceremonies.
Yeah.
Um,
Persians
like,
are long.
yeah,
long
Persians are
weddings.
long. Really, any South Asian kind of is. They all have like the 2 hour ceremonies, but they're so symbolic. Like there's so much going on, and it's like a conversation versus a ceremony. Like nobody's quiet in the congregation during them. It's like you're all a part of that ceremony, and they're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's I've
Question.
been shooting weddings since 90, 93, 94. So yeah, a long time.
What do you typically shoot?
Uh, everything, but more Middle Eastern, Armenian, my local market.
Yeah.
You've done weddings overseas, right? Like travel to like, what's your favorite place to go to? Like,
A place I
country.
haven't been yet. I want to do one in Lake Como, Italy. That's like my goal. Yeah.
Who's your favorite? One of your favorite wedding photographers? It doesn't have to be Canon.
The
Don't be
person I'm
biased.
shooting with next week in my budget photography gear wars.
Okay.
It's an
okay.
honor. Wait, I'm not a wedding photographer.
So wait a minute. I
No.
won't say it. I know who it is because you're coming to LA. So right for
Do
that.
you know? You can
Well, I'm
guess.
guessing-
I can tell people.
No, you don't need to. Let's have it be a surprise. But okay, his first name starts with Joe, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. You said LA, and I said okay, it's got to be him.
100%.
You know who
Wow.
you should do, and this person isn't a wedding photographer, but for that, Jessica Cabasi.
I emailed her. She didn't write me back.
Oh
yeah,
man,
she doesn't
please.
write back anybody. But
I don't blame her. She's a busy girl. I know what that's like. I
But
mean,
please-
I do like I'm friendly with her. We went on one of the media trips once, and I think she's super cool. I would love to do one with
But
her.
That would be
don't
great.
don't do what she's doing now, transitioning your photo channel to something else.
What is she? She's doing more like commentary.
She's doing
Yeah, because
I don't know.
she gained that audience, and it kind of messed it. Kind of, you know how it messed the algorithm up. It did that
Yep.
to her channel, but I mean, I kind of feel bad because I feel she wants to still do the photography stuff, but when she does it, and she spends all that money with the production, and then the views
Yeah.
are down. So
She
I
has
hope
that.
that
She
she
has
can
that
sit.
style, right? It's this gangster style about her. Like she's just
She
all
does,
like
yeah.
street. You know what I mean? What's up?
She's great at posing. And speaking of posing, Vanessa, everybody has things that they feel they could improve on when it comes to photography. What would you say is your weak area? Mine is posing, people. What would yours be? I do everything good.
Everything awesome. I wish that I was better. Well, and not even better. I wish I took more time to do family photos actually, because I tend to like I speed pose them. That is kind of my thing, but I get through them really quickly. And sometimes I would just love to have, I don't know, 10 minutes with just like the bride and her parents to get some like really beautiful, emotional kind of photos. I see Jerry Guionis do those types of photos. Like, I wish I did family photos like I
Nikon
see him do.
shooter.
He is a Nikon shooter. Yeah. But he just does such a great job. I think it's the Australian accent, though. Like, I feel like I'd get more emotion from people if I had that accent. So.
Yeah. Jerry Guionis, yeah. He's one of the, one of the
What about
top-
you, Vahagan? What do
What,
you
my-
feel your weakness is? Something you want to improve on? If you here, you go. I do everything great, rock and roll,
No, bro. No way. No way. The wedding's not my first passion. So I think I'm just an average wedding photographer. Nothing special, but I like interacting with people more than actual taking pictures. So, I love shooting, but I don't like the editing.
Got
So,
you.
As far as weakness goes, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Sometimes I forget how to post people because it's hot and it's like, it's long hours, and I'm just the couple is like has bad attitude, and you just don't want to work with them anymore. You know what I mean? It's like they give you attitude, and it's like, forget these people. You know what I mean? What am I doing here? Second, do you shoot with second shooters or
Always
Okay.
a second shooter and always an assistant. So 3 of us.
Okay. What's the worst thing? What's your pet peeve about second shooters? One thing that you complain about all the time that you have to remind them about.
Well, not mine, because I'm very picky about my second shooters. I've trained most of them from the ground up. So they've been with me for like over a decade, the majority of them, until recently. But the biggest pet peeve I have with either an assistant or a photographer is when they don't know how to read the room and they talk too much. Whether it's just saying their dress is so beautiful 700 times, like, please shut up, like, we've all moved on with the first time. So like understanding like this is a quiet moment, not a moment where your voice should be heard. Like this is like not for you to be a part of, you know what I mean? This is like their moment. We're capturing it. This is not, you don't need to be involved here. Even to like, not many, I actually say that they're not allowed to do this, but I've had in the past before I made a rule where they start giving me photo suggestions like as I'm shooting. And to me, it's not disrespectful in their heads, but like it throws me off. Like I have a flow, and the second I get up in my ear, like you've disrupted that, and then I have trouble getting back to it. And then I also think it looks bad for like the clients to look and be like, oh, who's in control here? Like,
Right.
who's really in
Vanessa, you're
charge,
doing this wrong. What are you doing, Vanessa? Get out of the way.
Like maybe you want to take her hand and put it like that. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
listen, they booked me.
Hey,
They
Vanessa,
want
why don't you go
my
take a
work.
break a little bit? I got this.
Like, fine.
You're like, hey man, you want to get paid tonight or what?
Right.
Yeah, right.
You want to come
Thanks,
on another
Kelly.
one?
My biggest pet peeve is reminding them to shoot raw because they forget their settings sometimes, and making sure their clocks are right on the camera.
Oh yeah.
Because I hate that. You know what I mean? I know there's a fix around, but I don't want to go through that fix around. I want the clocks to be lined up with the iPhone, so everything is in order. So they forget. Sometimes they have a gig the other night and they just forget. And I don't know what it is, but when you go out, when you shoot destination jobs, obviously the price changes. When you take a second shooter, there's blockout dates. Do they tell you, okay, well, I'm not going to be home Friday. Let's say you have a wedding in New York and you live in Texas. You have to be there Friday, the wedding Saturday, then you come back Sunday, right? So do you pay them extra on those dates? And
I use local. If I go to New York, I'm using my New York crew. If I'm going to shoot here in Texas, I'm going to use my Texas crew.
Yeah, but you don't
What
have
about LA?
You don't have a crew everywhere.
Right.
Try me.
All right. What if you're shooting in Armenia?
Armenia, I'm just going to bring you and you're just going to come.
All right. Well,
Rock and roll.
well, I'm from LA. But,
Nice.
So you have a
No,
crew in
most of the
every city?
places, I mean, for the most part, like major cities, I do have somebody like I would trust in most major cities. But I have brought like people to Mexico and those kinds of things. So, yeah, no, I definitely pay them more, really double,
Yeah.
because
That's
otherwise I could have been
smart.
working. Yeah.
That's smart
And then
to
I'm
have
going
a-
to cover obviously all their travel, all their food, everything.
Yeah, that's yeah. Food, travel,
Yeah.
hotel, you know.
Or it depends
So-
on like even what the budget allows. Like for example, next week, we couldn't find childcare, so I can't have Rob come film those episodes with me. So I have my friend Charles coming to film them, and he's filmed a lot of my budget photography gear stuff. Whenever it's like at a show, Charles is always at shows. He just films them for me because Rob doesn't come to them because the childcare thing is just a mess or it gets too expensive. So I'm having him fly with me, and it's whatever my budget is because costs money to make these, and essentially we're splitting whatever profit I would have made off those two videos and splitting it evenly. Actually, I think he'll probably make more because I have more expenses, but yeah, so it just depends.
So if you're in LA and you have a wedding, I'd love to second shoot for you,
Yeah.
just to see what you're all about. You don't have to pay me or anything.
Oh, that's so
As long
nice.
as, well, yeah, you pay me. I'm just kidding.
I've
No.
actually never shot in LA. No, I would pay you. I don't. The only time I don't
Tell you.
pay people is when I'm like actively training them because you can't do the job.
You know,
I
the
pay you
word
for.
on
I
the
am
street
training
is you do actually pay people pretty good.
Don't-
Fly people out, all type of stuff.
The word on the street.
you
The
know.
word on the
What,
street.
The word on the street. Yeah.
What word
You
on-
pay people
Hey,
pretty good.
you know that girl Vanessa Joy. She pays good.
Yeah, she'll fly you out.
Hey, so,
I try.
So you know
I
what?
don't know. The people I work with, they're my family. That's who I spend time with. I want them to be successful. I don't want them to hate working with me. I want them to like it.
And this is
If I
why
have to
you
pay
have
them to be
been
my
getting-
friends, so be it.
Yeah,
This is
next
why
time
you've been getting the success that you've been getting.
next time you second shoot, I'll don't pay me. I won't even shoot. I'll just come do an episode on my channel, behind
Yeah,
the
there you go.
scenes. Vanessa Joy. You know what I mean?
That would be
Chuck.
fun. I actually have I have 3 weddings that I wore GoPros on, and I still haven't really published. I published I think 2 of them on Adorama where it was just like a little piece of the day, but I haven't actually published the whole things yet. They're edited too. They're just like sitting there. I don't know what to do with them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I want to throw a couple of questions in here from the chat.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Neville wants to know, do you use a wedding checklist, Vanessa, or do you basically just guide them through with your knowledge of weddings?
Yeah. So before the wedding, we do like a questionnaire. We help do their timeline. I do their family photo list for them. And then I ask them for any special requests. So they do send me those kinds of things, but they're not giving me a checklist like photograph the shoes, photograph me putting my veil on. Like if they have to give me that checklist, like something has gone wrong where they don't trust me
Right.
to do the things that a wedding photographer should do. I really don't get checklists anymore. When I was more starting out, I would get them because they're probably right not to trust me to get everything.
I would
was a
imagine
beginner.
you and Vaughn both have the checklist memorized. You know what everything you're going to shoot, whether they know it, the client knows it or not.
Vanessa,
No.
it's like muscle memory now. It's like
It
I could shoot a wedding with my eyes closed, Chuck.
Yeah, I believe you.
Literally,
Believe you.
literally. It's like,
And shoot for the story.
Second
Like
nature.
you know what you're gonna end up
Yeah.
putting in the album. You know what they're gonna like before they like it.
yeah.
John Ishii wants to know, have you ever shot a Chinese wedding?
Yeah. Yeah. Tea ceremonies, red envelopes, all the things. Yeah. Those are great.
Nice.
Kelly Burden says she loves your adjustment brushes. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Oh, thanks, Kelly.
And
Who's
Gustavo says, a question: does the second shooter have to use the same camera brand and lenses?
Great question. Great question.
No. My best friend is a Nikon shooter, actually. that shoots for me a lot.
Listen, you don't have to keep telling them about me, okay?
Trying to like eke it in.
Do you let the R3 when you shoot a wedding, R5, R3, do you shoot with the eye autofocus at critical moments at a wedding, or do you still want to control it?
The eye control autofocus or the eye detection autofocus?
Eye detection.
100%.
You let that control it, like
100%. It is better at it than I am.
No.
Vanessa,
Does not turn off.
I have a question because you just threw something out there, and I'm wondering why this feature isn't hyped up more. Now, you know Taylor Jackson. Taylor, we went on a photo walk when we was in Vegas, and I was able to use his friend's the R3, whatever one where you can look and it goes. You know what I'm talking about. Why isn't that feature pumped up more? Because
it's
that's
not
amazing.
For every scenario.
Explain.
And it's not, depending on the lighting in the room, it's not as accurate as you want it to be.
Gotcha.
It's pretty darn good. And I love it so the first half of the day I'm shooting R5, and then after the first dance I switch to the R3 because it's killer in low light, and I love using the eye control autofocus when I'm shooting
Moving
receptions
subjects.
and people dancing,
Right.
because while the R5 or just eye detection in general is good and I can like tap on a face and I'll find the face, if somebody comes in front, it potentially could grab that eye. But if I'm looking at it, it's still going to stay on the person that I want it to focus on a little bit better.
Right. So basically, if you don't know what this is, just whatever you look at, it's locking focus wherever your pupil goes in the viewfinder.
Yeah, you calibrate it to your eye by like looking through, and it tells you like where to look, and you press a button. Yeah.
Hey, Vanessa, here's another from the chat room. So you shoot or have shot, do shoot or will shoot destination weddings, correct?
I have. It hasn't been in a while.
So John Ishey's asking about visas, work permits, and things like that. Do you have somebody that runs all that front end for you?
So it depends on where. You should be getting work visas in most places. A lot of places, it's almost impossible to like get a hold of anyone to get the work visa. And then in some other places, like Turks and Caicos, for example, I haven't shot there yet. My husband has shot a couple weddings there. They require the work visa, and it's actually easy to get. So it's like the barrier to entry is great. But yeah, you definitely are supposed to. I would say most
I think people
do not.
miss that point. There's so much behind the scenes for a destination wedding. And I'm just saying destination wedding for just travel, period.
Yeah, I have no desire to go overseas, to be honest, to do destination weddings on a regular basis. None. It's so much work. It's so much headache. It's in a beautiful place, but it's in a place where a lot of times you're a little bit more concerned about your gear. Dragging gear and lugging it is a real pain in the butt.
Right. Yep. I can imagine that. Absolutely. So here's a question. It's common to all you wedding photographers, I guess. What's your worst experience with a wedding from a gear standpoint and from the client standpoint? Everybody loves these stories. Vaughn's already laughing. He's already told us.
Oh, so you guys all know his. All right. Mine, one of the most embarrassing ones would be when my B1 literally fell off a cliff in front of everybody, and like the whole bridal party gasps as it just like goes yonder. And it was fine. Kept shooting with it that day. And then, clients, I haven't had a ton of bad clients. Like I really have been fortunate. It's usually like a mom that just like wants too much attention that day or something like that. Or, a bride that got overwhelmed with her family photos. I had one girl and I warned her about her family photo list, like, cause I work with them on that. And I'm like, I will do this for you, but you need to understand this is going to take 45 minutes, and 45 minutes of family photos feels like you're pulling an eyelash out one by one until they're all done. Like it sucks. It's going to suck. She's like, I know, but I have to. Fine. Halfway through, she gets totally tired of it. Like all of a sudden, bouquet up in the air, exit stage right. She goes to the bridal suite, and I'm like, okay, I'll wait 5 minutes. She's not back. I go check on her, and she had taken off her entire wedding dress and laying on the couch naked. Like, I'm done. Can't take this right now. I don't care about these people. Yeah. And,
Hey,
yeah,
Matt Granger just stepped into the chat and he said, "Oh man, I'd rather hear about the best experience you had."
every day.
Yeah. Do you?
Honestly, the best experience is when they just appreciate you and they notice the little things that you were really trying hard to do, like memorize all the family members' names or bridal parties' names. I had a wedding this past year where it was just like the sweetest people, and I loved them to death, which also helps me remember their names. And they appreciated it, and they said it, and they just appreciated me as a human and respected what I did, and those are always the best for me, and I do my best work that way too.
How many weddings do you typically shoot a year?
So I cap it at 20. I've done 40, 50 weddings a year. Oh, see, remember I told you about that light was going to turn off? Remember? There it went.
We got a whole different Vanessa now.
I got to take out. Yeah, it won't turn back on.
We got a whole different Vanessa now. That was a good one.
It's all right. It's okay.
Vanessa.
That's okay.
Vanessa After Dark.
If it was a pro photo light, it would have lasted the whole time. I already know it.
It would have, and I almost put it up. Do you guys know the special lighting trick that you can do?
What's that?
On your, all you got to do is you take a notes thing. Where are we?
Oh, the note tab and straight white. Now you can't see us though, can you?
I know I can see you because what I have to do on the bottom, that's where I put your zoom, so it's not too much light from down here. Because look, if I put it up here, see how I get the circles because I get the reflection. But if I darken the bottom, now I'm getting a little bit better clamshell.
There we go. It looks like we just have a whole lot of interruptions over here with me and everything.
We got lights going out. We got cameras shutting off. This may be
crazy.
No, this is a good talk. This is
I'm gonna get more like Vanessa. Give me a second.
You're gonna get what?
Of course, the only problem is I don't have like a good camera connected here, so I can't control the exposure, which drives me insane.
It's all good. We're not
only photographers worry about things like that.
I'm saying it's all good. We're not printing
really
albums
white
here.
Teeth.
Dude, my worst thing was when my second shooter was shooting the rings and he lost the ring and under the sink. Yeah,
no.
I'm a little dark.
Right into the sink. They lost it, and I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, that's so unprofessional. I told him, what are you doing shooting macro next to the sink, dude?
Oh, I always look for vents, like air vents.
The light was good there. What do you mean the light was good there? You don't have an LED? So you don't you check payment way before the event, right?
14 days before final payment.
You don't get any old school clients saying, come on, we'll pay you the day after when we open up the gifts.
Be like, then you won't be paying me. You'll be paying the photographer that agrees with that. It's not me. Do
videographers piss you off? Like sometimes, like with.
So they used to, but I mean, in the past 5-6 years, videographers have started to shoot so much more in the style that photographers do that it's rare that I run into issues with videographers anymore because they're shooting the same way that I shoot and they're shooting in the same style and the same cameras, same lenses. Before, it sucked a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. So, what if I get pissed when they don't have food for the vendors? You know what I mean? They don't set up anything for the vendors, like the whole long day. What the hell, man? Where's your common sense?
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's absolutely common sense. But it depends on where you are. Some of the halls that I've worked at that like they think they're high end, but they're not really high end. They just like serve you such crap. I have to turn the light on. This is driving me insane. It bothers me, but then now I just order like Grubhub, and then we're good. I'm gonna go turn my light on.
Yeah, that's nice when they set up a table, with, but what the guests eat is what you eat. I'm all for that, Yeah, they have filet mignon. I want filet mignon.
I don't get that. We usually get chicken.
There weren't those chiseled features.
There was a question in the chat, and I don't want to miss that question. It was by Mozman, but I can't find it. But the gist of the question was, if Nikon teams up with Profoto and they stop supporting Canon, are you switching? Are you coming on over to the dark side?
So like I said, I've never had to replace Profoto gear. So the Profoto gear that I have will last attached to my Canon for the rest of my career.
Oh, good. You know, I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. But I was just hoping that you didn't. But
No, they're all great cameras. I mean, you shot with a Nikon before, right?
Of course.
What do you think? Like, what do you think?
Particularly recently, but it's just a tool. It's just, you know, so many people I think stick with whatever it was that they learned on because that's just where their muscle memory is. That's what they're familiar with. For me, the Nikon color. Well, I won't say that. I take that back. The Nikon glass wasn't where I wanted it to be when I was shooting. You know, they just didn't have like the 1.2s, primes, and stuff that I wanted.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, and then the color, and that might just be because I've always shot Canon, but the color is like, there's no skin tone like what comes out of Canon, I think.
That comes out of Canon.
Yeah.
We're not going to do this, guys.
I can't stand, and I won't because I'm not going to badmouth, but I can't stand like the muddy look of some of the other ones, or like the way the greens look or the skin tones. Like, I don't know.
I always thought Canon had a nice skin tone.
Canon does, yeah.
Canon. I always thought that Canon skin tones were a little more natural,
right?
And
versus like saturated or even muted too much.
Like, yeah, because in the older cameras we got like a little greener tint to the images. So, but I mean now, pretty much, you know, I love Nikon. I mean, I grew up with Nikon, so exactly, you're right. But I've used them all. I've owned them all too. I've owned a lot of Canon gear. So I have some rapid fire questions for Vanessa, and then, you know, if you guys have some rapid fires too, we'll do that. But yeah, so guys, you have a last, you know, some questions for Vanessa before we get started?
I mean, I think she answered them all. You know,
Yeah,
she let y'all know that I'm the best.
Oh, you said rapid fire. I thought I was gonna have to, like, this was like a psychological analysis. I was gonna have to like answer first thought, like go.
Yes, yeah, that's what you got to do.
First word that comes to mind.
Yeah.
I got some cool, fun questions. You know,
Okay.
1 or 2 words. You know, short and sweet. Let's see. Hold on, let me open up my notes here. Okay. If you're not doing photography, what are you doing right now?
Drinking bourbon.
And as far as a career sense?
Teaching, online education.
Got it. Favorite mixed drink at the bar?
Old fashioned, not too sugary though.
Ah, nice. Most expensive drink you've ever ordered? And how much was it? Bottle or shot?
I don't think I've ever ordered a very expensive drink. I would like to try some Patty's bourbon, but I'm so cheap sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why pay $30 for a shot if you can go get a whole bottle, right?
I will say the most expensive dinner I had was at Per Se for 2 people to celebrate. Well, there were 4 of us there, but you know, between my husband and I, to celebrate myself and Sal Sincata becoming an EOL, and that was over $2,000.
Nice. Did you pop some Cristal or what? What was that about? Oh,
no,
steaks?
they had pairings.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I promise this is the last alcohol question. Cognac or beer?
A beer.
White Claw.
White Claw. I like them. I very rarely drink them. I don't like sweet drinks. I like if I'm gonna have wine, it is like dry red, full-bodied Zinfandel. Or if I'm gonna drink alcohol, it's bourbon.
Yeah, I've had a client open up a at, you know, when you go to the groom's house or the bride's house, getting ready. The groom was saving a $4,000 bottle of Louis the 13th.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, and he was saving it and for the wedding, so he pops it open and pours everybody a shot. And then I guess some of the ladies at the wedding party, they didn't drink. They just took a sip and put it down. And the guy's
You're
like,
gimme, gimme, gimme.
and that there was a waiter there cleaning up at the house. As the waiter's about to grab the shot glass and pour it down the sink, the groom's like, "No, what are you doing? This is like $300 shot. Don't pour it down."
Yeah,
But
no.
but I had that. It was very nice. So, killer
That's
natural
awesome.
light or studio strobes?
Natural light.
Okay, so beautiful bride with zero personality or average bride, huge personality?
Average bride, huge personality.
Is it true, yes or no, that beautiful brides are easier to shoot?
Yeah. But what bride isn't beautiful on a wedding day?
A
Okay.
cheap one.
Yeah, duck that one.
Even then, they're gonna be the most beautiful they've ever looked in their life thus far.
Are you a brand name gal or a bargain shopper?
Okay. The only way I can explain this
Gucci.
is I will pay $1,500 for a pair of shoes, but won't pay more than like $1 for a pair of socks.
I mean, but that's fair. How much do socks go?
It's
cost?
like, the socks can cost like $15 a pop. And I'm just like, no. It's like when people, for example, the R3 came out. It's like, oh, but people who are buying a $6,500 camera, of course they can spend money for 2 CF Express card slots. I'm like, you know what? Quite frankly, I don't want to. I don't care if I
Yeah.
spent $6,500 on a stupid camera. I really don't feel like paying $200,
Man,
$500 on the dumb memory card. I'm really happy
Yep.
that one of them is cheaper.
Are you all into the Gucci, the red bottoms, and all that stuff? Like,
I have
Hermes
a little
bag.
bit of a collection, but not a lot. My first like red bottoms I bought with credit card points. I don't splurge that much, but I did at WPBI in Vegas.
yeah. I had a client bride try to pay me with her Hermes bag because I'm like, okay, I didn't know what that was. So
That's kind of hysterical.
back in the day, and I'm like, I should have known because that thing's like 15 grand.
Yeah, I mean, you put it up on Poshmark.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, fastest ever driven or been driven? Like
In a
fastest
car?
you've went, yeah.
I mean, maybe 100. Nothing sexy at all.
Okay. Okay. Fight at a wedding. Do you start taking pictures or do you stop and help?
Taking pictures, 100%.
Famous
Shooting a
celeb.
reel, taking a reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And my phone at the same time.
Famous celeb
Probably
wedding.
video.
Famous celeb wedding you want to shoot if you were to pick right now. Ooh.
Okay. I don't really know celebrities at all.
Okay.
Well, you know
Yeah.
me, but yeah, keep going.
Right. So, yeah. And I only know them by like, for example, I am obsessed with the X-Men, but like Wolverine specifically. But Hugh Jackman, right? That's who plays
Yep.
him. It takes me a second to know. Oh, Hugh Jackman. Like, no, Wolverine. Like, I'll fall in love with their character, not the person.
Yeah.
But anyone who wants to take me to do their wedding in Lake Como, that will be my favorite celebrity I would like to shoot.
Nice. Go-to lens for weddings. What's your go-to lens? Like,
The Canon RF 28-70 f2.
nice.
It's a beast.
Oh
The
yeah.
other lens you reviewed, what was it? The other long lens like
135.
that? What is it? Is it a 24 to 135? Or wasn't
No,
it a 20 to 70?
28-70 f2.
Yes.
First
Mosman-
lens, yeah.
Mosman said Anna Sorokin. Anna Sorokin's wedding.
Yes, she's awesome.
She is. I see her. But Chuck, were you saying something?
No, I was just saying the 28-70 f2 was one of their first lenses announced.
Dude, it's an F2. They hit it out of the park with that.
Man,
Yeah.
that is
Seriously.
beautiful, man.
You don't
They
have to
hit it
take
up.
that lens off at a wedding. And then you
Right?
pair it with the R5 and then you go to a 1.6 crop, because even at a 1.6 crop, it's like a 19 megabyte file, which is perfectly fine. And
Right.
now that 28-70 just became a 28-112.
See, that's the thing with
At F2.
Canon. With their launch, they launched all these awesome glass, and then
Yeah.
Nikon was doing the F4 stuff. That's kind of what you know,
They
They
took a
left a whole
different
lot of
approach.
people wanting, though, Canon did, and there was a lot of complaining about it after the fact. They wanted to brag about the quality of the glass, but the cost really shut it down.
yeah.
About that
Yeah, they
RF
went a
lens.
different approach, and they pretty
Yes.
much got criticized. Both got
See, I
criticized
think
for the
it's a
opposite.
deal because it replaced my 24 prime, my 35 prime, and my 50, all of which together cost over $4,000 for a $3,000 lens.
Mhm.
One lens.
Do you own the 7200 RF?
I own the EF version, but
Okay.
I almost never even pack it in my bag because
That-
I use the EF 135 F2.
Yeah.
And again, when I do a 1.6 crop, now I have a 202 F2 lens.
That thing is light. That 7200 RF. It's
It
light.
is,
Wow.
but the 135 is lighter and the 135 is F2. And when you're
Oh,
shooting in
nice.
dark Catholic churches with stained glass tungsten light and red carpet, like you need all the F2 you can get.
That's awesome. And just a couple more, I promise. Okay, so your all-time favorite lens. This is like all-time.
Oh, the 51 too.
The L glass.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's just it's a solid lens for anything. It's a solid
Yeah,
lens.
that was remember Jessica Clare? She passed away like a year ago.
Yes.
She was like a big time, like amazing wedding photographer. That was her favorite too. And then that lady that does marketing now, Jasmine Starr. She used to be.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so money or fame for you?
Can we pick happiness? Because like neither one of those things are gonna satisfy.
Hey, you know what? They're both great. How about both? Money and fame. And ultra modern Ferrari or classic American muscle car for you?
Probably American muscle car. So
For a photo
my
shoot?
husband's no, because I like it. For my husband's, I guess it was probably like his 42nd. It was like a random birthday. I bought him a Jeep Wrangler 2-door cherry red right-hand drive car. It's
Wow.
awesome.
You guys seem like an awesome family. Like I saw your photo shoot with the Rock Band t-shirts. That was really
all at
cool.
Target, by the way, those t-shirts.
Yeah, that was like down Maya. That was rock and roll, right? All you needed was the guitar and drums and the lights, and you were ready to rock and roll. So I'm good with the rapid fire, guys. Any last questions for Vanessa Joy? I know we kept her a little too long here, but
That's okay.
Oh yeah, I want to know how she feels about this trend, supposedly hard light on camera flash.
Did you see my post about that?
Yes.
It makes so many people so angry.
I'm not a fan.
What's the deal? Where did this come
You
from?
know-
I didn't even know it was a trend.
So
This is a
it
trend now. Yeah.
came from, you've been seeing it in fashion recently. Like a lot of fashion ads have been having that look. And I wouldn't even say that started recently, but then I started seeing it trickle over into some wedding photography. And a lot of wedding publications were posting these pictures that had that direct flash, vertical, big shadow on the wall look. And I was like, what the heck is this? In
There is
addition, I
hope for
saw-
me. I can be a fashion photographer now.
You could, yeah. All you need is a wide angle and an on-camera vertical flash, and that'll do it. You know, there's a place for anything. I mean,
Sure.
I saw that happening. I did a couple photos like that at a wedding just for fun, and then on 2 different shoots, I did like there's one on my Instagram feed right now. I had the printed picture around here somewhere, but. And then there's one on the post, my reel that I posted on YouTube. And they're different ones. And they were just like, you know what? Let me just try it. Like, and, you know, it's fun. It's also fun to be able to look at something like that and just like anything else, deconstruct it, be like, I know how to do that. And I'm going to do it because it's fun. And I saw it and I'm going to do it. That being said, I don't want to do it a lot.
I'm going to take a couple of shots like that and post it in some of the forums. I just want to see how they react to it.
Good. Take it. Be like, look what Vanessa Joy's doing. She does not use this light at all.
I just like triggering them.
so how do you manage your time with YouTube, weddings, clients? Like that's tough, huh?
I'm working on that. I don't manage it well. This year is my year to attempt to raise my prices at weddings, so I do less. I really only want to do 15 next year. I'll let the cat out of the bag, but I am creating a lighting course, and I think I'm going to make it a subscription service that constantly grows, because I thought, I'm like, let me make a lighting course, but I want it to be natural light as well as, flash. And then I realized that's a never ending topic, like ever.
That's right.
Like, well, maybe I'll make that a subscription service, like put a whole
That's a
bunch in there to
box.
begin with. Yeah. And
You
then,
heard it here first on Vahagraphy.
That's right. So tell me
every-
if this is a good idea. Maybe we'll get your opinions on this, and you guys can tell me in the chat. So I want to do a subscription service, and I surveyed my audience, separated the people who actually buy stuff for me and the people who don't. And one of the things that they said, most people wanted to learn from live shoots. And I found that really interesting, especially since, when I do live shoots on YouTube, it's not as
Popular.
well received,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's also YouTube. So my thought was that I do once a month or twice a month, I do one live shoot that's just to that audience. And then I take that live shoot and I edit a Cliff Notes version of it so that you have both a long and short form, because I hate it. Like, I need to go shoot a wedding and there's a barn with a dark roof. I don't want to watch 16 hours of a course to figure out what the flip I'm going to do to light this thing, right? So I want to have these videos that are just like these little quickies, and they're like, oh, I got to shoot this, learn that in 3 minutes. Here's what I'm going to do. I got to shoot this, learn that in 3 minutes. Here's what I'm going to do. But then you also have the long form version as well. Is that a good idea?
That's the way to go.
Well,
to let you know.
Ryan's experience with the live stream stuff too.
And Ike does it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even when he was with you, he went live. So when you and Daniel
Yeah.
was doing your video, we were watching that live. That's a great way to build a community. So is all of your fan base gonna like it? Probably not, but it doesn't matter, right? Because
That's true.
that fan base that do like it connects with you on a whole different level, and that's the
Right.
important part. So you do that, they get to ask you questions like, hey, I'm friends with Vanessa, yeah, this I get, and it means so much to them. So I would say
Yeah.
both, but definitely it's all on algorithm, because that's everything. So but I think that it's a good idea. I just lost myself again. So yeah, so that's my
I think that you should
Hey.
fix your camera.
Hey,
I'm gonna do
folks.
the USB instead of coming out HDMI. I'm blaming it on HDMI.
So,
Hey, folks, everybody in the chat, if you'll look under your chair right now, you have a free voucher for Vanessa Joy's new light class coming up.
Also,
Yeah.
hit that like button, please.
yeah. So when did your YouTube took off? Recently, like 2 years ago? It just like
Yeah, I started
on
it
fire?
in like December, November of 2019.
Was it something you changed? Was it something you posted? What was it that really,
It was a
ignited
lot
it?
of hard work and doing a video a week and a ton of promotion.
That's awesome. Because
And advice from friends of mine. Like Jared spent a day and showed me all the back end and gave me all the tips. And
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he didn't
And
spend
then
nothing. Huh?
Miguel Quiles is actually the one who really convinced me to really start one. So like he's given me help over the years, and I can't believe it's been years actually now that I say that. But yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, because we're all doing YouTube, so it's great.
Yeah.
It's good to hear what others are doing and being successful at. So it helps us out. You know what I mean? So
We all gotta help each other. That's why if
Yeah.
I see like YouTubers like being mean to other YouTubers, like there's nothing that gets under my skin more than
Oh,
that.
yes.
Like, like we're all should be in this together. Like we're all feeling the same hurts, the same successes.
yeah, exactly. That's right. You and Canon rumors that there's a big war going on over there. I don't know if you heard. don't
I
know.
saw half of what happened before he deleted everything, and someone attacked him. I thought. I mean,
So,
I don't
well,
know what it was.
I got one last question for you, and then we'll let you. I know we had you for an hour and a half, and by the way, thank you very much. Like, I appreciate this. You're awesome. You're awesome, awesome, awesome. Are you fans of any other channels that you watch regularly on YouTube?
I don't watch YouTube.
Okay.
She doesn't watch YouTube unless she's watching my channel, guys.
Yeah. I just, to be honest, I don't have the flipping time. I don't have the time to like, oh, there's boxes sitting over there. They've been there for like weeks. I don't have time to open boxes. This is when I said like I have not mastered this like work life thing. I literally have not. I don't. If I do anything and I'm gonna actually like watch a video of some kind, I will watch like TikTok because it's just fast laughs, and then I go to bed.
Wow. So your whole life, I mean, besides your family life, but most of your life is consumed by the photography business that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
or my kids. So,
Okay. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I
Besides
stopped
the
working.
family. Yeah.
Right. So it's
Mhm.
one or the other. So, like watching YouTube for my own enjoyment usually
Mhm.
doesn't happen.
Yeah. That's great. So,
Yeah, but I do like other people. Like I subscribe and, you know, to
yeah.
all my friends. All you
Awesome.
guys too now.
Can you pronounce my first name?
Nope, absolutely not.
Vahagan.
Vahagan. You know what it is? I'm super visual, and then all I see is Vahagraphy, and then that it just screws
Yeah.
me.
Well, it was an pleasure and an honor. It was fun. You're a rocking guest. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Chuck. This was Vahagraphy Talk number 23. Next week, tune in, same bad time, same bad channel. For we got Cliff Montner coming in, wedding photographer. Cliff, you'll enjoy this one, Vanessa. Cliff is an
Oh,
amazing.
I know Cliff.
Yeah,
I've met
so
Cliff. Yeah.
he's coming in next week. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, guys. You can rewatch
you.
this on YouTube, and it's going to be streaming on Apple Podcast right after. So
Thanks,
I wanna
Vanessa, for being real. I really enjoyed it tonight.
Thanks. Me too. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Seriously. So, and not
I didn't
because you're the
disappoint.
first
Hey.
female on here, but you know.
Am I really?
Yeah. Right?
Awesome.
I think so.
See? Checking boxes.
Checking
Another-
boxes.
All right, rock and roll, guys. Thank you.
All right.
We'll see you guys.
Best success to you, Vanessa.